Hello crazy coders, welcome to yet another video, and today we will create a age calculator with help of Tkinter module, and it will look something like this. It will have a label and drop downs, it will have an entry box, and it will have a button to calculate our age, which is how many years old we are. So now let's start coding. I've already created a new Python file and named it agecalc.py, and the first thing we do is importing. So let's do that. From Tkinter import all. Okay, so that's what it says, but today we will use one more thing from Tkinter, which is from Tkinter import ttk. So when I hover the information about this module, which is it's a ttk wrapper, and this module provides classes to allow using tk themed widget set. Basically the widgets in the ttk module are beautiful and modern, so we will see that in coming time. But first thing, we'll create a window which can be done through this instantiating the tk class, and then we'll set the title which will be age calculator, and after that we'll set the geometry, which will be 400 into 200. That must look good, and we'll enter into main loop. Okay, so now let's save it, let's run our file. We have a window ready. Let's add the widget. The first widget I want to add is a label with a birth date text, so I will use a birth date variable and the label. But before creating a label, I will create actually a frame to align some of the widgets horizontally. So first thing, yes, frame, not frame but frame variable, and this frame variable will contain frame, which we can form by frame q function, and then we can just pack it. Okay, that must look good. And moving ahead, then we can pass it here, which will be frame, and again text will be something like date of birth. And moving ahead, I will use font, maybe font like Times Family, and I will keep kind of font size 17. And now let's pack it, birthday.pack, and we can use side left since I want to make all the widgets of this frame left. So I have given it. Let's try to run it, how it looks. Yeah, it's center and it's there, but side is left, so if we add more widgets, then it will keep moving to the left. So now let's move ahead with our second widget, which is our combo box. But for that, first we'll create a variable which will be named as month, and it will be a string var. As you know, we create string var variables to pass it to the widgets so that we can retrieve the information from the widgets using this variable. Now after this, I will create a list of months, okay, which will be in the drop down. So for that, I will use a function in the calendar module. So for that, let's import it from calendar. Sorry, not from calendar, just import calendar. Okay, now moving ahead, from calendar, what we want to do is first I will create a list. Basically whatever the return type is, it will automatically convert into list. But in the calendar module, we have a month abr, and yes, it gives us the list, but it starts from like 1. So that's why I will just use string slicing, maybe, what do you call. So from this thing we'll get all the months abbreviated, so we'll see in time. But now let's move ahead and create our widget, which is our drop down. So for that, I will use a variable named month chosen. Okay, okay, now move ahead. It will be in tk class, and it is a combo box. Yes, and it will be in the frame. It will contain no text, maybe, but font similar to this. Let's give it, and it will have a width of maybe 5. Now let's pack it, months chosen dot pack, and I will give a pad x maybe 10. Okay, let's see how it looks. But before that, I want to, let's save it and run. Let's see it has been created or not. But there is a error months, localized month object is not callable. Oh, so it's not a function, but it is a parameter. So now let's run it. Yes, we are ready with a combo box, but there are no contents in this. So now let's add them. So the way you do it is simple. You just mention the variable names and you just access values, and from there you just pass this list which we have obtained from this function, of course, from this module. So now let's save it, run. We have drop downs, yes, but the default value is empty. So now let's actually keep something in the default. For that you just have to like current, and then you pass the index. So I think this works. Yes, the first index of our list, which is Jan, is updated as a default. So if I run again, it will show the default. So now moving ahead, we have to create a date. So now I will mostly copy this because most contents are very really same. So now let's say this dates, and yes, same thing, dates. Okay, let's see, keep this date so that there is no duplication of variables. And now here I will keep it like date chosen, and that must sound good. And I will just copy paste, sorry, something else has been copied. Now copy paste, paste, but the values is not months this time, but it will be a list from 1 to 31, right? So I will just use our list comprehension, like num from num in range 1 to 32. Since last one is exclusive, so it will go from 1 to 31. So yeah, first will be the 0th index, and yeah, everything else should be cool, but this should not exist here. Okay, so and another thing, we have to pass a text variable which will be our string var, which will be month. So now from this month we can retrieve whatever chosen in the combo box. So same here, we have to pass the text variable and we have to give it a date, which is string var. Okay, moving ahead, let's save it, let's run. Yes, it's there, but it's not horizontal, so we have to pack it with a side parameter, side as left, so it would automatically be horizontal. So I will just paste here. Yes, good. Now if I save and run it, yes, it's there, but padding is like kind of a lot. But let's see, let's add a last widget on this frame, which will be our entry widget for the year. So first I will create like year chosen variable, and then we will create our entry box, which is from our TK module only, and this will take nothing as a text, but it will take a frame first of all, and text will be nothing, but let's move ahead and keep it width as 7 and font as same as this. So since I'm copying it, let's paste it and let's see how it looks, but I have to pack it. And then year chosen dot pack, but side is left, and also pad x is 10. Let's save it, let's run, and we have a box, but it's kind of getting cornerized, so we'll decrease actually the pad. So let's keep it 5 and 5. Let's save it, let's run. Yeah, now it's there completely, but now it is not looking as beautiful as these combo boxes. Now let's make it. First of all, I will keep the relief as groove, and after that I will give a border of 2. I think this must make it look good. Let's try. So yes, it's looking as good as the combo boxes. Now I want to also give set the value for entry boxes, which is something like default value. So now for that I can be using, what should I use? I think, okay, let's keep it empty for now, or maybe we can, okay, let's keep it empty. Now after that, after creating this, I want to create a button, and it will be of a calculate button. So first of all, I will just create a variable calculate, and it will be from button, and it will have not a frame this time but a window, because I don't want it to align horizontally. And this text will contain calculate, right? What else should it be? Calculate. And then we can just pass it packet, sorry. We can do it by like this. If I save it and run, we have it, but it's like, very close to the widgets above. So I can give a pad y of 10. Let's see now. Yeah, it's a bit far from them, and now it looks good as well, but I don't like this empty. I should set something. I'm just not remembering how to. So for entry box also, we will create a string var named year, and from that we can do it. So for string var, and then we can set it. The default value will be around like 2002. I will place it that. You can place whatever you want. I will pass it to this with text variable as year. Okay, then we can retrieve it easily. Okay, that looks good anyways. Moving ahead, what we have to do now, we have to add another label for the output, and for the output we will just use the age variable, and we'll create a label, and the label frame will be window, and it will have text, nothing, it will be empty, and it will be updated according to the calculation. So for time being, I will keep some text which is like x years old, and after that I will also use same font here for the continuity purpose, and should use give some width. I will give it width of 7, and let's pack it. Pack, yes. Now it should be good. Okay, something. Okay, it's not in this, so let's increase it. Let's give it 8. So yeah, it looks good now, and keep it 9 because sometimes age might be in double digits as well. So yes, now this must look good. Let's make it empty, like it does not pass them. And now we have to implement a functionality which is getting the year, month and date, and calculating what's the difference from today. Okay, for that I will create a function named calc. I mean, nothing specific, and calc will get first thing as year. Okay, year chosen, kind of year of birth. Okay, I will keep it like that, and after that it will like month of birth, and it will take day of birth. Okay, we can all get this with use of these variables, so that's great. For year, or year itself, year dot get, and since this will be a string, I will convert into a integer. And for day as well, it's day dot get, no, it's not day, it's date, right? Yes, here we have set it. And for month we will use month.get, but since it is an abbreviated value and it is part of this list, what we'll use is we'll find the index, okay, of the particular selected abbreviated month, and we will calculate from that. So to get the index of the month, you just have to search that in a months list which we have created here, which contains all the list of all the months. Okay, so from months dot index. Okay, so now if I just exit this, so you will see an index function, and I can pass this. I can pass this to get the month selected in the abbreviated form, and then from the months list we will get the index of it and we'll convert it to int. Anyways, it will be int only, but for safety, and we'll convert this also to int. Okay, now we got whatever the user has given us. Now to get what the current time is, we have to import something which is import date time. Okay, date time. That's great. And I will create a variable name today and date time dot date to access current date time dot now. Okay, this will give us all the information about today, but from that I don't want everything. I just want year. Year now, maybe you can call it, and we can do at today dot year, and like month now is equal to today dot month, and like day now will be today dot day, and I can just convert them all int. Similarly this one, okay. Yeah, now I will just create the date object from them. So for that I will import the date as well. So from date time, okay, not date parser, date time, import date. Okay, so this will help us to create a date object. So first thing is d not, which basically means date of birth. Okay, and this will contain a date object which is a function, and I have to pass year, month and day, which is year of birth, month of birth, and also day of birth. Okay, and another thing I will create is d1, which is our today, and also same thing I will do year now, month now and day now, and it will create an objects for them. Now to calculate the difference between this, it's very simple. First of all, I will create a variable named delta, and I will just minus it, difference. But what we are doing is we are differencing this from this. Basically subtraction is happening, but in terms of time. So it will return a time delta object, and from the time delta object we can get number of days. Okay, so let's do that. So total number of days. Okay, total days, maybe simple variable names, and we can get it by total days. Okay, delta dot days, and from total days, if we want an year, we just have to divide it by 365. So I will just do that. So age age calculated, or age total, I will say will be total days integer division 365. Okay, this might be an given approximate age for that person, and now I have to display. For that I will use the age variable, and from that I will use config to update the text, which will be like string and age total, and also is okay, not string, maybe I will use f string here to better format it, the data, and here I will pass age total, I will close it, and years old. Okay, I think this should work. So let's try it. Let's run a file. Yes, the default values are there, and also our calculate button is there. But oh, I forgot something, which is passing this function to this button. So to make it functional, we have to update the command parameter with a function which is calc. Okay, now it will surely work. So if I hit the calculate button, which for the person who is born on Jan 1 2002, so it will give me, okay, it's not giving me anything, like no error. Yes, there is an error. String var object is not callable. Okay, wait, okay, this is not year of birth, it's what is the problem here? um, Date, year of birth, string object is not callable. Who is calling a string object? What is the problem? Where is my year? Here is here it's set. Who is calling it, man? Okay, date, man. I've overridden this. Sorry, I should not be doing this. Oh, it's like string var I will use, and I will update this here as well. Okay, where I have to? There. So now it will work because that actually the date variable is messing it up, since already we are importing an official function. So now let's try it. Okay, cancel it. Now let's try. Okay, still there is a functional error. So what is that error? Month must be 1 to 12. Okay, so month of birth, month dot get, and we are accessing it to this. Okay, I think for the first time, for the Jan, it will return 0. So I will just do +1. Okay, now if I run the code again, so yes, it's giving me 20 years old, and if I like update, go deeper, it will give me 21. Okay, now our code is completely functional, and you can make a lot of changes to it and make it more readable and more accurate, because sometimes it's also leap year, so it will be 365, but this is like approximate, and it's fun project. It's a very beginner level to make you understand the buttons and all. So that was it from this video. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you up in the next video.